Unistrut can indeed be used as a raceway. The National Electrical Code, commonly referred to as the NEC, doesn't have a specific prohibition against using Unistrut as a raceway. This applies irrespective of the suspension method employed. However, some general requirements must be adhered to. Firstly, it's crucial that the Unistrut is properly grounded to ensure electrical safety. Secondly, the raceway, in this case the Unistrut channel, must be of adequate size. The dimensions of the Unistrut need to be sufficient to accommodate the number and size of conductors that will be placed inside it. Thirdly, the conductors within the Unistrut must be properly supported and protected from potential damage. This means securing the cables appropriately to prevent them from chafing or being exposed to physical stress. Fourthly, the Unistrut raceway shouldn't be used to support any equipment or fixtures. It is solely for running electrical conductors. If these requirements are met, using Unistrut as a raceway doesn't constitute a violation of the NEC, even if Hanna rods are present within the Unistrut's interior. Let's delve into each of these requirements in more detail. Proper grounding is vital in any electrical system, including when using Unistrut as a raceway. Grounding ensures that any fault current has a safe path back to the source, tripping a circuit breaker or fuse and preventing electrical shock hazards. The Unistrut needs to be connected to the electrical system's grounding electrode system in accordance with NEC Article 250. The specific grounding method will depend on the electrical system's configuration and the size of the conductors involved. Typically, a grounding conductor is connected to the Unistrut using approved grounding clamps or connectors. The grounding conductor size must comply with NEC Table 250.122, which relates the size of the grounding conductor to the size of the overcurrent protection device protecting the circuit. Next is raceway size. Determining the appropriate size of the Unistrut channel for the conductors it will house is crucial. NEC Chapter 9 contains tables that specify the maximum number of conductors allowed in various types of raceways, including metal raceways like Unistrut. These tables take into account the conductor size, insulation type, and the raceway's dimensions. When calculating the required raceway size, it's important to consider not only the current conductors but also any future conductors that may be added. It's always a good practice to provide some spare capacity in the raceway to accommodate future expansion. Consider the fill percentage. NEC Section 314.16 dictates the maximum allowable fill percentage for conductors in a raceway. The fill percentage refers to the proportion of the raceway's cross-sectional area that is occupied by the conductors. The NEC specifies different fill percentages for different types of raceways and conductor configurations. Exceeding the maximum fill percentage can lead to overheating of the conductors and make it difficult to pull conductors through the raceway. Also, think about conductor support. Within the Unistrut raceway, the conductors must be properly supported to prevent strain on the terminals and ensure that they don't sag or come into contact with sharp edges. NEC Section 300.4 addresses the protection of conductors from physical damage. It requires that conductors be supported at intervals not exceeding those specified in the relevant NEC tables. The support intervals depend on the conductor's size and the type of support used. Common methods for supporting conductors within Unistrut include using cable ties, straps, or specially designed cable supports that attach to the Unistrut channel. It is essential that these supports are made of materials compatible with the conductor's insulation to prevent corrosion or degradation. Consider physical protection. In addition to support, the conductors must also be protected from physical damage. The Unistrut channel itself provides some degree of protection, but additional measures may be necessary in certain situations. For example, if the Unistrut raceway is located in an area where it is exposed to physical abuse, such as a warehouse or factory, it may be necessary to install a cover over the Unistrut channel to protect the conductors from impact. Furthermore, where conductors pass through knockouts or openings in the Unistrut, appropriate bushings or fittings should be used to prevent abrasion of the conductor insulation. The next requirement is no equipment support. The Unistrut raceway should be used exclusively for housing electrical conductors. It should not be used to support any equipment or fixtures such as lighting fixtures, transformers, or control panels. Supporting equipment from the Unistrut Raceway can overload the raceway and create a safety hazard. Equipment should be supported independently using appropriate mounting hardware and methods. Now we can talk about hanger rods. The NEC doesn't explicitly prohibit hanger rods from passing through the interior of the Unistrut channel. However, it's important to ensure that the hanger rods don't damage the conductors or interfere with their proper installation. The hanger rods should be installed in such a way that they don't create sharp edges or protrusions that could abrade the conductor insulation. Additionally, the hanger rod should not obstruct the raceway's internal space, making it difficult to pull conductors through. It's also crucial to consider the weight of the Unistrut Raceway and the conductors it contains when selecting hanger rods. The hanger rods must be of sufficient size and strength to support the load safely. The hanger rod should be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions and any applicable built-in codes. Some additional considerations for using Unistrut as a raceway include corrosion. If the Unistrut Raceway is installed in a corrosive environment such as a chemical plant or a coastal area, it's essential to use corrosion-resistant materials. Galvanized steel or stainless steel Unistrut channels are often used in these applications. Additionally, all fittings and connectors used with the Unistrut Raceway should also be made of corrosion-resistant materials. Also consider labeling. NEC Section 110.21 requires that all electrical equipment be properly labeled. This includes Unistrut raceways. The raceway should be labeled to indicate its voltage, amperage, and the type of conductors it contains. The labeling should be durable and easily visible. Accessibility is also something to think about. The Unistrut Raceway should be installed in a location that is readily accessible for inspection and maintenance. It should not be concealed behind walls or ceilings unless access panels are provided. Accessibility is crucial for identifying and correcting any problems with the electrical system. Also, make sure you use approved materials. All materials used in the Unistrut Raceway, including the channel, fittings, connectors, and conductors, must be approved for their intended use. Approved materials have been tested and certified by a recognized testing laboratory such as Underwriters Laboratories, commonly called UL. Using approved materials ensures that the electrical system meets safety standards and performs reliably. The NEC provides specific requirements for various types of raceways, including metal raceways like Unistrut. Some of the relevant NEC articles include Article 300, which covers general wiring methods, Article 314, which covers junction boxes, pull boxes, and handheld enclosures, Article 340A, which covers electrical metallic tubing, commonly called EMT, Article 350, which covers flexible metal conduit, Article 352, which covers rigid polyvinyl chloride conduit, commonly called PVC, Article 358, which covers electrical metallic tubing, and Article 366, which covers auxiliary gutters. These articles provide detailed requirements for the installation, support, and grounding of raceways. When installing Unistrut as a raceway, it's important to consult these articles to ensure compliance with the NEC. Consider using a qualified electrician. Installing and maintaining electrical systems can be dangerous. It's always best to hire a qualified electrician to perform any electrical work. A qualified electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to install electrical systems safely and correctly. They can also ensure that the electrical system complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Now let's talk more specifically about grounding Unistrut. Grounding is a critical safety measure in electrical systems. It provides a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source, tripping a circuit breaker or fuse and preventing electrical shock. When using Unistrut as a raceway, it's essential to ensure that the Unistrut channel is properly grounded. The grounding method will depend on the electrical system's configuration and the size of the conductors involved. Generally, a grounding conductor is connected to the Unistrut channel using approved grounding clamps or connectors. The grounding conductor size must comply with NEC Table 250.122, which relates the size of the grounding conductor to the size of the overcurrent protection device protecting the circuit. Also consider bonding. In addition to grounding, it's also important to ensure that all metal parts of the Unistrut Raceway are properly bonded together. Bonding creates an electrically continuous path, ensuring that all metal parts are at the same potential. This helps to minimize the risk of electrical shock. Bonding is typically accomplished by using bonding jumpers to connect the various sections of the Unistrut channel together. The bonding jumpers must be of sufficient size and installed in accordance with NEC requirements. Remember those fill calculations we talked about. Determining the appropriate size of the Unistrut channel for the conductors it will house is crucial. NEC Chapter 9 contains tables that specify the maximum number of conductors allowed in various types of raceways, including metal raceways like Unistrut. These tables take into account the conductor's size, insulation type, and the raceway's dimensions. When calculating the required raceway size, it's important to consider not only the current conductors but also any future conductors that may be added. It's always a good practice to provide some spare capacity in the raceway to accommodate future expansion. NEC Section 314.16 dictates the maximum allowable fill percentage for conductors in a raceway. The fill percentage refers to the proportion of the raceway's cross-sectional area that is occupied by the conductors. The NEC specifies different fill percentages for different types of raceways and conductor configurations. Exceeding the maximum fill percentage can lead to overheating of the conductors and make it difficult to pull conductors through the raceway. You should consider voltage drop. Voltage drop is the reduction in voltage that occurs as electricity flows through a conductor. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently. When using Unistrut as a raceway, it's important to consider voltage drop, especially in long runs. The amount of voltage drop depends on the conductor size, the length of the run, and the current flowing through the conductor. The NEC provides guidelines for calculating voltage drop and recommends limiting voltage drop to a certain percentage of the source voltage. To minimize voltage drop, it may be necessary to use larger conductors or run multiple conductors in parallel. In any electrical installation, safety is paramount. When using Unistrut as a raceway, it's essential to follow all safety precautions. Firstly, always disconnect power before working on electrical systems. Verify that the circuit is de-energized using a voltage tester. Secondly, wear appropriate personal protective equipment, including safety glasses, gloves, and appropriate clothing. Thirdly, use only approved tools and equipment. Make sure tools are in good condition and properly insulated. Fourthly, never work alone. Have someone nearby who can assist in case of an emergency. Fifthly, be aware of your surroundings. Identify potential hazards, such as wet locations or confined spaces. Finally, if you're unsure about any aspect of the electrical installation, consult with a qualified electrician. Let's talk about common mistakes. There are several common mistakes that people make when using Unistrut as a raceway. One common mistake is not grounding the Unistrut properly. As discussed earlier, grounding is essential for safety. Another common mistake is using the wrong size conductors. Using conductors that are too small can lead to overheating and voltage drop. A further common mistake is not supporting the conductors properly. Improper support can cause strain on the terminals and damage to the conductors. Not using approved materials is also a mistake, along with overloading the raceway. Be sure to calculate the correct fill. Finally, not following the NEC. It's important to familiarize yourself with the NEC requirements for raceways. Also, always consider future expansion. When designing an electrical system, it's important to consider future expansion. The Unistrut Raceway should be sized to accommodate not only the current conductors but also any future conductors that may be added. It's always a good practice to provide some spare capacity in the raceway to accommodate future expansion. It may also be wise to consider the environment where the Unistrut is installed. Is it indoors, outdoors, wet, dry, corrosive? The environment can significantly impact the selection of materials and installation methods. For example, if the Unistrut Raceway is installed in a wet location, it's essential to use watertight fittings and connectors. In a corrosive environment, corrosion-resistant material should be used. It's also important to consider the ambient temperature. High ambient temperatures can reduce the ampacity of conductors. In high-temperature environments, it may be necessary to use high-temperature conductors or lower the ampacity of the conductors. Let's discuss periodic inspections and maintenance. Electrical systems should be inspected and maintained regularly to ensure that they are operating safely and efficiently. The Unistrut Raceway should be inspected periodically for any signs of damage, corrosion, or loose connections. Any problems should be corrected promptly. Regular maintenance can help to prevent electrical hazards and extend the life of the electrical system. Also, ensure you document everything. Proper documentation is essential for any electrical system. The documentation should include drawings, specifications, and test reports. The documentation should be kept in a safe place and readily available for reference. Good documentation can help to troubleshoot problems and facilitate future modifications to the electrical system. A well-designed and properly installed Unistrut Raceway can provide a safe and reliable solution for housing electrical conductors. The main takeaways from this discussion are: firstly, ensure proper grounding and bonding. Secondly, calculate the correct raceway fill and conductor size. Thirdly, support conductors adequately and protect from damage. Fourthly, avoid using the raceway to support equipment. Fifthly, consider the environment and future expansion. Sixthly, follow the NEC and local codes. Seventhly, inspect and maintain the system regularly. And eighthly, document everything. If you follow these guidelines, you can use Unistrut as a raceway safely and effectively.